There's a specific kind of hurt that stays with you, the pain of speaking in a room and no one reacting, the pain of sending a message and watching it sit there. It's not just being ignored, it's feeling unseen in a world where you've spent your whole life trying not to take up too much space. Today, we're exploring the psychology behind people who constantly feel overlooked, not because they lack value, but because their emotional wiring, depth, and self-protection patterns run deeper than most people ever recognize. If you're someone who sees the world with emotional intelligence, feel free to subscribe. This space is for people like you, people who think, feel, and grow. 1. You possess high meta-awareness, and it turns pain into hyper-observation. You don't just feel ignored, you study it. You notice delayed replies, cold tones, shifting expressions, micro-signals most people miss completely. Your brain tracks small changes because emotional inconsistency once felt dangerous. You aren't overly sensitive, you're overly conscious. You see emotional reality with a clarity others don't have. 2. Emotional regulation became your survival strategy. People who feel ignored often learned early to soothe themselves. You regulate alone, heal alone, and process alone, which is powerful, but also isolating. To others, it can look like you don't need anything, so they forget to check on you. You seem strong on the outside because you had no support on the inside. Your independence became misread as invisibility. 3. Your attachment patterns expect rejection before it happens. When attention was inconsistent growing up, your nervous system began predicting abandonment. So now when someone doesn't respond immediately, it doesn't feel like a delay. It feels like a repeat of the past. The moment someone goes quiet, your history speaks louder than they do. You're not being dramatic. Your mind is trying to protect your heart. 4. You shrink yourself without realizing it. Subtle self-sabotage. You talk softly. You don't interrupt. You let others lead. You make yourself easy to ignore because deep down, you fear being too much. But shrinking yourself makes your presence fade from the room. People aren't overlooking you. You're training them to. Your silence is misinterpreted as disinterest, not caution. 5. You're still in identity formation, a phase that feels like invisibility. People who feel ignored often haven't fully stepped into who they're becoming. You're figuring out what your voice is, what your value is, what your place is. This in-between stage makes you feel like a blurry version of yourself. You're not invisible, you're evolving. Every transformation has a phase where the world can't see the full picture yet. Which point felt like it described your inner world perfectly? I'd love to hear your perspective. If you're still here, it's because you're thoughtful, emotionally aware, and committed to growing in ways most people never attempt. If you want more content that speaks to that level of depth, feel free to subscribe. Remember, you're not someone the world should overlook. You're someone who's finally learning to be seen.